Okay, in this video, we're going to cover setting the preferences on your MacBook to do web development and develop WordPress themes. What I've done is downloaded the utility from Apple to reinstall the Yosemite version of Apple OS X. I've downloaded all the Apple software updates, and this is how your computer should look if you go into Apple and you buy a brand new MacBook and turn it on for the first time. With the exception of I have this icon up here for the program that I use to record the screen while I talk and teach you things like this. So yours should look exactly like this when brand new and you've done all the updates. So one of the first things that I do is I click the Apple symbol at the top, I go to System Preferences, and I click on Energy Saver. Since I'm normally out and about or I'm lounging around the house in a chair when I code, because sitting at my desk is not always comfortable for me, I like to change the battery time from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, because sometimes I'm thinking or I'm adjusting myself in the chair, so I find that when it's not plugged in, the 2-minute timeout is a little too quick for me. Then I go back and I go over to the trackpad. I do have the Apple mouse, but I don't use it that much. If I was at my desk or I had an iMac, I would use the Apple mouse all the time. In fact, I have an iMac in the other room, and when I'm in there, I do use the mouse because it is a desktop computer and the desk is more set up to use like that. But for my MacBook, I use the trackpad. So what I do here is increase the speed, which is just my personal preference, so that the pointer moves more quickly, so I don't have to go across the trackpad and then pick my finger up and go back to the left and then continue again. The 3-finger drag is very helpful. Right now I have to click to drag this, and if I do a 3-finger drag, it doesn't do anything. So if I click this, just like it showed on the screen there, now I can drag it. So they will show you all these. The tap to click I use all the time because I don't want to touch and press down on the trackpad. I just like to tap it. The scroll and zoom I use a lot too. I leave all these checked. You'll find that as you learn to use these, if you go through and watch what it's showing you to do, and you practice using these when you're not working, then you'll get good at them, and when you are working, you'll be able to use them very easily. The app expose, I do like that. It is nice to pull down and see everything to switch apps. I do tend to use the command tab just because that's the way it was in Linux and Windows for a long time. So I tend to still do that, and it does work on the Mac. And then we're going to go back out. That's all I do in the system preferences. Under security, I do have File Vault on. It's going to ask you when you set up the computer to turn File Vault on. That's probably a good idea. If anybody accesses your computer, they can start it up and attach it as an external hard drive, and that, like a USB hard drive, and pull files off of it. So if you're not worried about that, you don't need to use File Vault, but File Vault does not slow anything down. Macs now run so fast and computers are so good, you really don't have to worry about things slowing you down too much. And that's all I do in system preferences. Then I go in Finder in the preferences, and to give you an idea, I'm going to open a new Finder window over here, and you can see this is what's in the sidebar now. So what I do, let's go back over here to General. On the desktop, I don't like to show hard disks. If I plug in something, I don't want the icon to show over here. If you like that, then check that. That's what that's going to do. If I check it now, it's going to show the hard drive for the Mac. If I plug one in, there's the external disk. I don't like stuff on my desktop, so I'm not going to show that. CDs and DVDs I don't use anymore. This computer doesn't actually have an optical drive. I don't have an iPod, and I run an Android phone, so I uncheck that. Connected servers, I don't connect to servers via Finder, so I uncheck all of these, and then when a new Finder window opens, I set this to go to my home folder, because that's normally what I'm operating in. So what that means is when I open a new Finder window, now it's going to start at my home folder. And then the only reason it's doing this right now, where it's in the tree over here like this, is because I haven't adjusted the preferences for the sidebar yet. So my sidebar, I want to show my home folder, and you just have to decide which of these you're going to use. If you do a lot of movie editing, a lot of music or pictures, you might want to check these. I don't, so I don't check those. I do want to show my computer because sometimes I want to search the whole computer, and that makes it easy. And then these are only going to show if they're connected. So it's not like it's going to have an icon for iPods or DVDs or CDs unless you have one connected to the computer. And then under Advanced, I click Empty Trash Securely, and when performing a search, search this Mac. And that's the only thing that I check there. And if you don't want to, if you check this to empty trash securely, it's going to take longer to empty the trash because it's going to do another pass on all of the trash to zero it out. And that's all I do there. So now you're going to see when I open a new Finder window, it opens in my home folder. I see my desktop, documents, downloads, movies, pictures, and public. And I have my preferences set so that I can now 3-finger drag this. And I've got where I can 2-finger tap to right click. So we're ready to go.